Hey guys, Richard Blaine here. Thanks for stopping by my Easy Cooking channel tonight. You know, tonight I've been requested to make some more Malaysian food, and I really do enjoy Malaysian food. This particular dish that I'm going to be making comes from the second largest state in Malaysia, called Sarawak. Okay, Sarawak is located really close to the Borneo Island, and they have their own style of cooking dishes and making dishes there. Bird, be quiet. So one of my viewers said, "You make good Malaysian food, we love watching you. Why don't you make something from Sarawak? Why don't you make Sarawak ceviche?" So I did a little research and I found two forms of ceviche from the Sarawak state. What did I find? I found Umai Tenggiri, which is fish ceviche, and I found Umai Udang, which is prawn ceviche, what I'm going to make tonight. It's spelled Umai, U-M-A-I, but it's actually pronounced Umei. So tonight I'm going to be making Umei Udang, which is going to be prawn ceviche from the state of Sarawak, and then I'm going to be making Udang Sambal, or Sambal Udang, from Malaysia. So I'm going to be making two prawn dishes tonight. Both of them are lovely, fragrant, go great on rice, go great on noodles. You can even put it in soup if you wanted to, okay? But they're going to be delicious. So, as usual with YouTube, let's get going. Let's make some Umei Udang and some Sambal Udang right now, and I'll see you in a minute. So, the first order of business to making Umei Udang, okay, or shrimp ceviche, is to supply the shrimp. This here is 1 pound of black tiger prawns, okay, peeled, cleaned, deveined, and working all morning, okay, because I have to buy 2 pounds, okay. And what you want to do is make a nice thin layer at the bottom of your glass Pyrex, Anchor Hocking, whatever you got. You want non-reactive, you want glass. You don't want to do this in plastic, okay. You want to make a nice even layer of prawn, whatever size you want. These are black tiger, I love these. Okay, this dish is very simple, but extremely flavorful. All right, so there it is. 1 layer, 1 pound of black tiger prawn. This is 2 cups fresh squeezed lime juice. There we go. Just covers that 1 pound of prawns just marvelously, okay? Now, technically, you could just leave it right here, just like this, for about an hour or so to cook, but we're not going to do that, okay? To this, we're going to add some finely slivered red onions, okay? There we go. About 1 to 1.5 finely sliced red onions, okay? The onions just add such great flavor to ceviche. Okay, there we go. I said 1 to 1.5. You could add more if you want because they're going to wilt in here. This makes a lovely salad, or a lovely topping to a salad. Yeah. All right. Plenty of onion. There we go. Oh yeah. That's about right about there. Okay. And then to that, I'm going to add some shallot. Okay. Just a little bit of a difference in the taste opinion, but we're going to add some shallot. Okay. Very simple, very quick dish. Okay. It's not like Peruano ceviche. It's not like ceviche mexicano. Okay. It's not like ceviche colombiano. This is ceviche Sarawak. Okay. A lot of people think that Peruano is the best ceviche on the planet, and it is delicious. I've had it many times and I like it. In fact, I enjoy it. In fact, I enjoy the ceviche from all over the world, so I really can't say that Peruano is the best. Okay, this is a combination of garlic and ginger. Okay, about 6 cloves of garlic, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of ginger. It goes right there on top. All these lovely aromas I can smell right now. Grab one of my spats and you just mix this around a little bit. Okay. Get everything wet. Okay. Because you're going to add some reduction agents to this. Reduction agents meaning salt and sugar, okay, which will help seep some of the moisture from the onion and from the shallot and even from the garlic, okay, like so. Then we're going to put in a little bit of finely minced lemongrass. Southeast Asian flavors, baby. Southeast Asian flavors. Yeah. I put this in the food processor. It came out really, really fine. All right, let me rinse off my hand. All right. Okay. Then we're going to add some coriander seeds. Now, some people that make this use coriander leaves. I couldn't locate coriander leaves, but I had coriander seeds. So we're going to add the coriander seeds. Give this a quick toss. Get this stuff wetted with the lime. Okay. Now, since I couldn't get coriander leaves, I decided to substitute something else for the coriander leaves. A lot of people know that I like to change things up a little bit with traditional recipes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross-pollinate this Sarawak Ceviche, Umei Udang. And since I don't have coriander leaves, I'm going to cross-pollinate it with curry leaves from India. Because if any of you guys have done cooking from India, Indian recipes, and have ever used curry leaves, oh my God, the flavor, the aroma of curry leaves is just something to be had. So instead of coriander, these nice spicy curry leaves. This will add a layer of flavor to this udang, this Umei Udang, that you will not usually see in this recipe. Okay, there we go. Curry leaves are spicy, savory, pungent, and once they hydrate, oh God, this is going to be some delicious, delicious, delicious ceviche. Now, the last thing I am going to add, some of those reducing agents. Okay, here's a little bit of sugar, just plain white sugar. A lot of people think that it's the salt that draws moisture from items like onions and vegetables and ceviche and stuff like that. Actually, it's not. It's the sugar that does the leaching of the water in a more pronounced way than salt. So you can use 1 to 2 teaspoons. I'm using about 2 teaspoons of salt here. Okay. I'm using about 2 teaspoons of salt. 2 teaspoons of sugar right there. Duh. Been a long day. And a little bit of salt. Okay. Fresh ground salt. The salt and the sugar will leach the moisture from the onions and the curry leaves and the shallots, and the fluid volume in here will increase. Okay. There we go. About 2-3 teaspoons. Got to have a salt content. There we go. There we go. And just to add, oops, I forgot to take it out before. Just to add a layer to the seafood flavor and some salt, a little bit of fish sauce. Not currently used in this dish through all my research, but I made a batch of this week, just like this here, and people just loved it. So a little bit of fish sauce. Now, if you want a little bit of spice, you could use red chili, green chili. Okay, I'm just going to make it easy. 1 teaspoon crushed red chili flakes for a little bit of warmth. A little bit of warmth. basically, my Umei Udang is done. Now, some people put it in the refrigerator. I don't. There we go. I let it sit out for about half an hour, get to room temperature. Then I'll put it in the refrigerator and let it marinate. So right here, I have Sarawak Umei Udang, Prawn Ceviche, and we're going to move on to the next dish, Sambal Udang. So hang on tight. All right, now we're going to make Sambal Udang. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to toast up a little bit of Belacan. Okay, Belacan. That is fermented shrimp paste. And believe you me, if you have never worked with it, it is delicious, but it is smelly. Okay, but sometimes some of the best foods there are the smelliest. So I'm just going to put it in the oil. Okay, and take it down with the spatula and just toast it a little bit. This is a Belacan paste that I find easier to work with than a Belacan block, what they call blackened. And into this goes my base sambal paste. Okay. The instructions and the ingredients naturally will be in my description box. But basically what you're looking at here is ginger, garlic, red onion, a little bit of sugar, okay? But this is the base sambal paste for Sambal Udang, okay? And I'm going to bring it up to a medium, and I want to cook it this way for about 5 minutes, maybe 8. I want to make sure that all these ingredients get cooked in the oil before I move on further. So I'm going to cook this paste about 5 minutes, get it all nice and toasty, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, I've been cooking the base sambal paste for about 6 minutes, and the way you know it's done, the color has changed, and you start to see the oil come to the surface. Okay, now to that, I'm going to add about 3 tablespoons of tamarind concentrate. That's about right. 3 tablespoons tamarind concentrate right there. Okay, and I'm going to blend that in. You can buy tamarind in many forms. You can buy it in the block, and then you can soak it and remove the seeds. I like using this concentrate because it just makes the job so much easier. Okay. I'll raise the heat back up. I'll incorporate that tamarind for the tartness. We're talking about umami here. Okay, now I'm going to let that sit there for just a second. And we're going to mix this around on high. Oh yeah, okay. We're going to add a little bit of sugar. If you have palm sugar, great. If you don't, brown sugar is good. Many of you know that when I do my interpretation of Asian dishes, I use molasses, which has a very strong flavor, so you have to be careful about how much you use. I'm using one of these nifty little Thai spatulas. They seem to work really well in a wok, better than an American spatula, and I can see why. The trick with a wok, a lot of you don't know, is pushing your food up against the high wall where it's hot to help the cooking take place. Hear it? Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. All right. Now, some people do this, some people don't. A little bit of tomato, okay? You could use plum tomato, pureed tomato, tomato sauce, chopped tomato. It doesn't matter, okay? Just a little bit of tomato. In doing research, I find that many people that make this recipe do add tomato, and a lot of people don't. And as I always say, for every dish in a particular country, for as many families as there are in a country, there are as many ways of making a dish. And in my research and in my cooking, I found that adding a little tomato does add some depth to this dish. Now, if you want, and I want, you can also add some additional red onion, okay? it will not overpower this dish. Okay? It will not overpower this dish. Okay? I'm going to cook this until the onions wilt, and then I'm going to add a couple of last minute ingredients before I add the prawns. Alright, the onions have wilted and incorporated into the sambal. There's a little bit of caramelization going on here, a little bit of fond going on here that I'm scraping off the sides because I do want the sambal to thicken. And in goes a little fish sauce. Okay. You could use regular salt if you want, but you're missing out on a flavor layer. And then in goes some lemongrass stalk, which will be removed later, but the lemongrass adds a unique fragrance and flavor layer, and later on it'll be taken out. So as it stands, I'm going to cook this sauce until it thickens up just a little bit more, gets the lemongrass to wilt, get a little more of that fond on the side, scrape it off into the sambal itself before I add the prawns. Alright. It's just going to be delicious. So I'm going to let this cook a little bit longer, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so the sambal is right where I want it, okay? The onions have wilted, the lemongrass is softened, the color is darkened a little bit. I got all that fond off the sides. And right now, I'm turning off the heat, okay? I don't need it. It's hot enough. In go the black tiger prawns. Okay. Here they go. 1 pound black tiger prawn. Okay. I don't need the heat. The heat's been turned off. I'm going to coat these prawns with the sambal, and I'm going to let it sit in here. I'm going to let these prawns sit in here for about 5 minutes. Maybe a little bit longer. They will cook in the sambal without the heat, and they will soak up the flavor of the sambal without the heat and be just delicious. Now, you need to understand, you can eat this dish in a bowl as a side dish. You can eat this dish on top of rice as a sauce. You could eat this dish on top of noodles as a sauce. Okay? But if you just wanted to eat Sambal Udang as a dish by itself in a bowl as a starter, you can. But it makes a lovely topping for white rice, brown rice, black rice, red rice, noodles of any kind. Okay? A nice addition to any kind of a soup. Okay? So I am just going to let those prawns cook in this sambal sauce, soak up those flavors, impart their flavors, and we'll be done for the night. So I'm going to bury them in there. Oh yeah, delicious. Just delicious. And I'll be back in a few minutes.